Oh, are you ready? Okay, it is a little before 1:30, but we'll begin the liquor control for this month. And agenda item number 1 is approved minutes of the August 15th meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further changes or corrections? Otherwise, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Number 2A, review liquor applications. An application to issue a Class ABH alcoholic beverage license to SMC Fargo JV LLC, doing business as Fargo Courtyard, to be located at 2249 55th Street South. Steve.
So this application is for a hotel. It's a full bar license at a hotel. Does require that the hotel have 100 rooms as a minimum. I believe this is the hotel that's over by the New Stanford, isn't it? Yeah. So anyway, we've done the background check. Everything's come back. Looks like it's good.
Yes, no problems.
Yep, no issues.
I'd move to approve.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. It is now still 1:31. Thank you, everybody, for coming this afternoon. That might
Chief,
not,
did you want to mention that other thing?
oh,
I'm
dang.
sorry, I'm going to ruin your
Sorry
record.
to rain on my parade. Chief,
Well, I just, for other items, I thought I'd just bring up, I know that Steve and I are having a meeting, is it in
Dave.
2 weeks, or?
Yeah, a couple of weeks.
Dave, on point of last drink.
Yeah.
And so I know that there's some folks that want to talk about that. Some of the things that I just thought I'd bring up is I wanted to find what the issue is that we're addressing and be definitive about that. The other thing I think if, and this usually falls on law enforcement to then try to keep this record, but something that's unique about us is that we have a records management system that we share with 2 counties and all the cities within those counties. So that's a multi-million-dollar records management system. So this would require some cost also on our part as far as having programmers from the company that we bought this system from program something that tracks this type of data. So it's not just flip a switch and all of a sudden we're doing it. I just want to make people aware that there's a little bit of a process here and a cost to it too.
thank you very much for doing that. If you want to come up and speak, we'd love to have you come up. Just give your name, and we'd love to have you. And the other thing is, so we'll keep everybody here updated as to what we find, and I think the industry will be interested in that too, and so we'll let you know. Go ahead.
Hi, Carol Schlossman. I'm with the Downtown Neighborhood Association, and I thought this might come up today. So, yeah, talked to Robin Huebner this morning. She said that she had given you a call too, Chief. And this Saturday, we are talking with the Neighborhood Coalition for the purpose only of educating people what the point or place of last drink actually is, and not to stir up an issue, but truly so that people understand how Minnesota is using it and why. And so with the goal of really tying intoxication and underage drinking pattern trends to the place where it occurs as a pattern, not as a one-off, they have found it to be very effective in remedial action with those license holders, because having a license is a privilege. And most of the license holders, of course, want to, obey the law. We have the law that serving it to an intoxicated individual or underage individual is illegal. But we don't have a tight data set or data trend pattern set like they do in numerous cities in Minnesota. So we're looking at ways that could potentially happen in Fargo, maybe West Fargo, Moorhead. And we do know that there are some costs. Example was ensuring that the data set integrates and is easily inputted by the officer making an arrest, where alcohol is an incident, DUIs, assault, domestics, disorderly conduct. So we're talking extreme behaviors where there's usually an arrest. It can also be used, they've used it for police calls in general. And again, not one-off disturbances, but tracking the pattern. And so we look forward to the open discussion and making sure that we get feedback and you get feedback to see if this is something that can actually work effectively to make, lower the costs of the effects of alcohol in our community and just, make it safe. So,
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Some of the cities in Minnesota, do you know off the top, if you don't, that's okay, but I just was curious, are there some cities that already are doing this?
yes, I'm aware of over 20 cities, and I can't name them all off, but Wayzata, Excelsior, Osseo, Golden Heights. There's a sheriff department, there's Excelsior, and it goes on and on.
No, that's okay. And I just wanted to, so it is, and I do think that's a good thing, because then you can actually talk to people that have been
Right.
doing, how it's worked in the real world and some of the costs and things like that, and how it helps, or, those kinds of things too. So thank you.
Yep, Minnesota did get a grant for their database and for education of the officers and of the liquor establishments, and it has definitely cut down on the average breath alcohol content at arrest. And so, people find creative ways to solve the issue without dealing with the license itself. So it's not about taking away licenses, it's about remedial action and getting their arms around the cause.
Very good. Thank you very much. We're looking forward to it. Thank you for bringing that up,
Carol.
Chief. And I apologize for trying to shut down the meeting too quick. Any other comments? Otherwise, we will adjourn. Thank you, everybody, and have a good afternoon.